Welcome Kathy Holly and Spotlight.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show tonight, Spotlight. Kathy Holly. Here I am up in Diamond Heights, San Francisco, lovely Diamond Heights, where I can actually see the stars and the moon tonight. And maybe it's the reflection of the chandelier. I don't know. Liberace isn't here tonight, but I am, and it's great to see everybody. I have great guests tonight. Debbie Davis, who's from Carmel, California, but we're going to find out all about her. She's a singer and a songwriter. And Jen Santosuosso, who is in San Francisco right now, and wonderful singer and also a great actress. So let's get started. Debbie Davis, welcome to San Francisco.
Oh, thank
Via
you, Kathy.
Zoom.
Thank you. Thank you, Kathy.
And the last time I saw you, you were in Carmel, of course, and you were at the Cypress Inn. So
Yes.
first of all, when you perform at the Cypress, I want to know how long you've been there, first of all.
We have been there for 12 years, just 2 weeks ago. Yeah, 12 years every weekend for the past 12 years.
And who's the we?
Gennady is my pianist, and he is, I'd say his last name, but I can't pronounce his Loktanovic or something. But he has been with Clint Eastwood at the Mission Ranch for 30 years.
I can't
Yeah.
believe it.
Yeah, he's quite an amazing pianist. He was from Russia, and he wrote some of the scores to some of Clint's movies. So
That's right.
I've been performing with him for 13 years.
Well, now tell me about you. What is your background? When did you get into singing professionally?
Well, I have sang all my life. I grew up in a church that was a cappella. But to do what I'm doing today, this is actually something I started later in life. However, I was also in some bands, but I raised 5 children. So
Oh, wow.
I was a single mother at 16. And then I have 2 stepdaughters and 3 children of my own. So I was busy raising children for a long time, but
You were 16?
yes.
My goodness, where are you from originally?
Southern California. I grew up in Ontario.
Oh,
Went to high
yes.
school in Covina.
And then where did you spend a lot of the other time when you were with the 5 children? 6 children? 5. 5.
Five.
Yes.
I was in Sacramento. I left, or in Sacramento when Shannon was 3. So I left there. She would be 52 right now. And my youngest is 35. So there's 17 years between my oldest and my youngest.
Gosh, that's great.
And so I was in Sacramento. I've been in Tahoe. I've been in Phoenix. I've been on the Central Coast. I've been in Bakersfield. I've been in Nashville.
Like the song says, the song is I've Been Everywhere.
I've been everywhere, man. Yes.
I think
First band I was in 1978.
The what?
The
I'm
first
sorry.
band that I was in was in 1978.
Oh, great.
I was also a loan officer at a credit union.
And that we got to have another gig.
Yes.
And so, where were you performing?
At a place called Diamond Springs Hotel
In where?
in Diamond Springs, up by Placerville.
Oh, yeah, I have heard of it.
Yeah.
I have heard of it because I'm a native San Francisco.
1978 is a long time ago.
It is a long time ago. It's not that long ago. It seems like it was just yesterday, Debbie.
40 years.
It's just yesterday. Today is 20 years. Well, now tell me, so with your career, when did you really start singing all the time? Or was it always a side gig, as we say, until you got into it?
Yeah, you could say that. I mean, there was many years I did not sing. I would sit in with the band. I was in the band in 78. In Bakersfield, I was in a country band. And then I would sit in and I would do private parties. I'd do weddings and things like that. I was in a church praisettes little trio, and that was about it, really. I did music for one of my weddings, and then I would just, not do much of anything. And then I was asked to do a demo in 1999 when I was living in Tahoe.
Uh-huh.
And with that, I was asked to go to Nashville and do a demo in 1999, which I did.
Now
But
that's very exciting.
it was very exciting. Very,
That's the center of country music.
yes.
And so who was pursuing you at that time? Did you have an agent that
No,
wanted?
I've never had an agent. I've never had an agent. I was just I had answered a advertisement, an ad, and it was what was the name? It was something production company, and I can't even think. It's been, I mean, gosh, it's 1999, so it's been 22 years ago, three
Well,
years
wait a
ago.
minute now. At one time, didn't you audition for America's
Voice.
Got Talent?
No, for The
The
Voice.
Voice.
Yeah.
How was that experience?
It was wonderful. You know what? It was truly. I did go to America's Got Talent, which was not much. I did not enjoy that at all. And but The Voice was extremely professional, very very well organized. And my I didn't go anywhere. It was the very last audition of that set. So I went to Denver, and my whole purpose was for inspiration. They'd never had anybody at as old as I am on there. And so I went really basically to inspire others that it's just never too late.
That's right. And that is the truth. It's never too late. And
That was after I was at the Cypress.
well, I think that is wonderful. I mean, I have a good friend who did finally she didn't make the cuts. She was actually on America's Got Talent. And she's known as the soprano on a dancing trick horse. And I know, it does not sound amazing. We've performed together because I've produced shows before the pandemic. And she's a soprano and she is really terrific. She's a woman
Oh, that's awesome.
and she can sing and she's been hired for fairs for everything you can imagine. But she got on the show, but she told me the how you do this. I mean, it was umpteen auditions.
Oh yeah, it's not anything.
It's a full, you have to really want it, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
And I don't know, you have to have the time to do all that too. And well, tell me, do you enjoy performing at the Cypress?
Oh, I love performing at the Cypress. It's what I do at the Cypress, without a doubt, is what I was born to do. I literally live my dream there. And
It is a
it's what I do.
wonderful
Yeah.
place.
No, it is my gig. It's my full time. It's my livelihood. Besides Social Security. So at this stage in life, it is wonderful to be able to do what I was born to do.
And I have to tell, you can probably describe the atmosphere. What I love about it is it's intimate. You can order food. It's a cocktail lounge, but not really a lounge like
No,
cocktail
it's a
lounge.
living room.
It's a living room, exactly.
Doris Day's living room, basically. And how I do the show is I do a 3-hour show with no break, as you know. And it's very interactive. And it's like as if you were in my home and I'm your
That's right.
host.
Very
And so
comfortable.
we celebrate birthdays. We, do a lot. Well, it's mostly standards. I do everything from country to Broadway.
Yes,
And I get to do all the songs that people don't do anymore.
that's right. It's really difficult. Young people don't know them,
No.
and that's a
And I get a
difficult
lot, I
part.
have a lot of young people who come.
I think the last time I did see somebody, who came in and you invited them up, and I do this similar what you've been doing at a wonderful restaurant in San Francisco called the Villa d'Est, but not since the pandemic. We've been holding off, and they just do not want to reopen yet. So let's hope we have more venues. Now, I want you to give everyone a sample of a song that you wrote, because for those who have never heard you before, it's wonderful. And it's a song about your life. Is that right?
Yes, it is the only song I've written, and it was on purpose. But it was truly, I wrote it in like 45 minutes because I can't read music, and so I couldn't write it down. But I had it in my head, and it's called Living Her Dream.
Well, let's go with it.
Okay,
And
here we go.
everybody, enjoy.
She'll be 47 young in 25 days. She's packing up her car and going away. She's living her dream. been dreaming to see. She's been a mother since the young age of 16 years. She's conquered divorce, worry, heartache, and fear. She's living her dream. Been dreaming to see. Never before had she been on her own. Been caring for family, sometimes all alone. Never thought the day would come she could reach for her dream. Nothing's in her way, no reason to stay. And so she loaded up her car, headed down the road. Highway 40's not a long way to go to be living her dream. She's been dreaming to see her family and friends send her off with their love. Said, honey, you'll be guided by the one up above. Go live your dream. You've been dreaming to see. And never before has she been on her own. Been caring for family, sometimes all alone. Never thought the day would come she could reach for her dream. Nothing's in her way, there's no reason to stay. And so she loaded up her car, headed down the road. Highway 40's not a long way to go to be living her dream. She's been dreaming to see her family and friends send her off with their love. Said, honey, you'll be guided by the one up above. Go live your dream. You've been dreaming to see. Go live your dream. You've been dreaming to see. She's living her dream. She's living her dream.
Oh, thank you so much, Debbie. That's a great song. And when we see this on YouTube, the show's going to be uploaded. Everybody can enjoy it, and you can enjoy that. And then you can go see Debbie in Carmel. And one more thing, you have a live performance on Facebook, and tell them quickly where.
Yeah,
When?
I do a live virtual show every Friday from 6 to 7:30 on Facebook Live. Tomorrow night will be our 94th show. We've been doing it since the pandemic. And that song was written just before I left to Nashville to go follow my dream.
All right, we were going to follow your dream too. So we will see you definitely. And don't go away because I have another wonderful guest, and Jen Santosuosso. It's great to see you. Thank you for being on the show tonight. We just finished a workshop, an acting workshop with Stan Roth.
That's right, Kathy. It was a blast. It was a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for having me on.
Wonderful. I love having
great
you
to
on
be
the
here.
show. And I wish you could do one of your monologues. You are fantastic. Ladies
Another
and
time,
gentlemen.
I'll come back. I'll dye my hair and I'll be another person.
All right, well then you'll be too famous, but it's all right. Either way, we want to have you back on the show, of course. But the other thing is, I want to talk about your music because you also sing.
I do.
And
Yes,
what's
in
the
a
name of
band.
your band?
Say that again.
What's the name of the band? The
Oh,
original.
well, currently the band is called This Stellar Madness, and that's where you can find us all over social media and the internet, on YouTube and Bandcamp and Facebook and Instagram and all of that. This Stellar Madness. But as I was telling you, sort of a lot's changed, as for many people, a lot has changed throughout the last couple years, and we've really worked on a lot of new music and kind of refined our sound, and so we're gonna change our name, which is a huge thing.
It is a huge thing. And you're still thinking about what the name is going to be?
It is, because it is such a complex, identity is a big deal, and it takes a lot to settle on something, or you don't want to settle on something. You want something that feels right, and that expresses the direction you want to go in.
Well, now, first of all, you tell me about the music. I think it's mostly originals, isn't it?
all originals.
And the band?
Occasionally, every once in a while, just for fun, we'll learn a cover to do for a live performance, but all of our music is original music that the band writes. Yes.
Well, we should definitely take a look at this video. This is a terrific video. It
Yeah.
is, shots of you singing and some background. So let's show everybody.
Please
Let's
do.
get a taste of Stellar Madness.
I fall beyond the ecstasy. I catch my breath. The subtlety of destiny. Light begins to rain love. Reflections of what might have been. I give in. In my mind, I scream in silence. As I die, stars rain down vibrance. Stride by stride, this trip is ancient. In this light, sudden amazement. A moment of dangerous grace, adrift now in open space. Remember the ancient faith. A moment of dangerous grace, adrift now in open space. Remember the ancient faith. In my mind, I scream in silence. As I die, stars rain down vibrance. Stride by stride, this trip is ancient. In this light, sudden amazement.
Whoops, I love it because of the question mark at the end. And so it keeps us wondering, I wonder what's next. What genre of music would you say you are in?
We are definitely rock and roll, definitely heavy. We say,
Light metal?
what's that?
Light metal?
Light metal. Ooh, I've never heard that. No, I would not say we are light metal. We are definitely more of a heavy vibe. But rock and roll.
Rock and roll. Yeah.
Well, that song that just played, that's called Anomaly. And one of the reasons why I chose that one to show tonight is because I think it's a really good blend of what we love to do, right? It's got a lot of melodic parts to it, but it has some really nice, heavy, driving, kind of chunky, percussive parts to it as well. So we like the dark and the light, but
a blend.
a blend. Yeah,
And
yeah,
that's
exactly.
great. Now, tell us quickly, if the audience doesn't know, maybe many places in San Francisco where you might have worked, and we hope some of them I know are gone, but name some of the clubs where you used to work.
Sure. Well, some of the ones that are still around, El Rio, which is a great local San Francisco resource for bands that are just starting out. They're really encouraging. The Knockout, and we've had the great fortune of playing Bottom of the Hill, one of the really great clubs in San Francisco. But unfortunately, our favorite club to play was the Hemlock Tavern.
Oh,
That is sadly gone. That didn't make it through.
and Amnesia is gone.
And Amnesia's gone. We
It's a
played
wonderful.
there.
Yeah, it was a very. Well, tell me, where are you from originally?
Massachusetts.
Oh,
So I grew up on the
Massachusetts.
East Coast.
And when did
Very
you come
different
out?
world.
It is a different world. I love it back there. But when did you come out here?
I came out to California originally in '95, and
How did you
and
get
I-
into music?
how did I get into music? Well, I've always been in love. I through my acting, honestly, because of musical theater is the direction that I came at music. My mom was musical. my dad's musical in his own way. So it was kind of always around, but yeah, definitely more through the musical theater aspect of things. But
Yes,
then,
yes. Yeah, but the
then my
music,
love of rock and roll sort of really drove me to want to be in a band. But that's been a later development in my life. And I have to say, I have to take a moment, Kathy, to mention my bandmates, Paul and Nicole and Ryan. I couldn't do it without them. I wouldn't do it with anyone other than them.
well,
I
you
mean,
become like a family,
they
right?
are.
Yeah.
They're absolutely
Ooh,
like my family,
that's-
and they're just so. I mean, there's not one thing that could be different that would make it would just change everything.
I understand.
Yeah.
And it's I think it's amazing. You told me you came from a very large family.
I do. I am the youngest
Yes.
of 10 kids. So
10 kids, wow. And
yeah.
you still stand out. You must have had a great attention because of your talent.
Well, I'm a lot younger than the rest of the family. So I had a strange hybrid of being one of many and also almost an only child.
That's really great. In a
Yeah.
way, that's great. And I was going to ask you about your costume and your character in the
Sure.
band. You said the
Yeah.
acting does, acting does come into performing.
It,
It
it does
just
come into the
always does.
performing. We love the live performance. That's our focus. It's been really hard the last couple of years because we haven't had that outlet for us. Recording music is its own thing, and it's necessary. And of course, people want to be able to have your music for their own at home. But to us, it's about crafting that experience of a one-time event
Right.
where people come and see you play. And
And
so that is part of why, I really feel like I'm out there out front as the singer, trying to channel, if you will, something really otherworldly or just out of the ordinary, extraordinary,
well,
that
your outfit was great. I mean, I remember seeing that costume, and it looks kind of like a cross between the gay 90s and the whatever, that era when, there was real show. And I
yes.
loved it. I think it's great with the
Yeah.
stockings that's what it's all about, though, creating an image that is different than what everybody sees every day.
Yes, well, and it
Yeah.
helps me too as a performer, to put something on that I also can leave my day to day behind, right? And I get up
Yes,
on stage and then
exactly.
I have the ability to embody something that, Jen here on the couch. Jen here on the couch isn't quite the same as, I actually call myself Moxie when I'm on stage,
Oh, I
right?
love it. That's your
So
stage name. Oh, for the
yeah,
character.
yeah. So Moxie
Oh,
on stage has a very different uh,
persona.
range of options than I do here.
You certainly, yes, well, that's an expression too. I mean, she has a lot of moxie. But
Well,
what I,
yes.
wanted to also ask you about was you mentioned to me once that you used to manage restaurants. This comes in handy,
Yeah,
right?
people skills
Because
are useful no matter what. And yeah,
and you were
definitely.
able to manage a place that had a cocktail lounge with bands, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that's one thing we all would agree here tonight, that more places that can have live music is what we need going forward. I know that it has
Yes, they
challenges.
do.
I know that the last 2 years makes all of that seem even more difficult to figure out how that's going to work, but
Yeah.
that's what we need, because people need that. They need to come together. They need to have
Yes,
those experiences. And
that's
yeah, I'd
right.
love to be a part of that however I can.
And we're going to keep looking at your Facebook and the Facebook page for the band, because they'll go through the changes and
That's
the name
correct.
changes, everything. And I want to get back to Debbie too, because we're going to run out of time. But it's what is really important. I think we're talking about how gigs are really important. Live music, coming back is very important. And I'm hoping that maybe there'll be many other venues that will open in everywhere. But I think one of the problems is getting people out of their houses again and to come and sit in a restaurant, wherever. If it's crowded, everybody gets concerned. But now, according to the latest news, the virus is disappearing. So this is good. Now it's time for all of us to go out again. So, Jen, one last question for you. Do you have any goal with, specific with your acting as well as the music?
With the acting, I just want to, I'm just getting back into it. That was why I took the workshop. I want to just see where it goes. I'd love to just explore what that brings into my life going forward. But with the band, this may sound, a bit kidding, but in all honesty, we want to open for the Melvins at the Great American in San Francisco.
Oh,
That's our goal. Someday.
Okay, this is great. Now, I'm sorry, maybe I'm in the dark. I live in Diamond Heights, but I've been out a lot. But what are the Melvins?
It's an amazing band that they have done their own thing their whole career, and they are from the Bay Area, and they just, it's a big aspiration, Kathy. But we're that's
You can
said,
do
what's
it.
our
You gotta
goal?
have a goal. Gotta
That's
have
what
a
we're
goal.
going for.
You have a gimmick, you'll have a goal. So, Debbie, what do you think your immediate goal is? To continue at the Cypress, of course.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
do your children like what you're doing? I have to ask you, do your children who are grown, do they support you?
No, I have 7 grandkids. I've got, my oldest daughter passed away 4 years ago, but I've got my 2 children and my stepdaughters. And so everybody loves to come to the Cypress. My grandsons help me with my virtual show. And we've been back at the Cypress since June, and every Saturday we're packed. So
I noticed.
very fortunate, but I don't do a lot of the things that we used to, like, hand the mic over to do the sing-alongs. We don't do any of that. We keep it very safe. And I would say right now I'm going to continue with my virtual show because I have so many people from all over the country who don't come to Carmel. And so I have a couple other venues, Wine Bank, who's a new place here that's wonderful, and a couple things like that. And I do weddings and private parties and
That's great. See,
I'm waiting for the assisted care to open up again.
Oh, sorry. That's my timer. Oh my gosh, everybody. This show is just, I know the timer. I usually just don't have it make a noise, but tonight it made a noise.
That's okay.
How exciting.
No, we just want to
It's the first
sing.
time ever it spoke to me, but that's all right. That's what happens. We have to say goodbye. Thank you everybody for being on the show. All 2 of you, Debbie Davis and Jen Santosuosso. And I'll see you at the next workshop, and I'll see you in Carmel, Debbie, and on your Facebook show. Why not? Live on Facebook. And I'll be sending all kinds of emails to you now that you can watch me too.
Thank you.
Wherever it happens. Wherever. And whenever.
Jen.
Yeah.